Hi, my name is Nick, and this is the Painter's Mess. So in today's video, we're going to talk about Horus Hersey and where it's at, and the fact that Legion Imperialis is not Horus Hersey. Let's begin. So I want to start out by saying that this is really kind of lame to say. So today's April 10th. We just had another Heresy Thursday, and it is about Legion Imperialis. Now, Legion Imperialis is really cool. I have the box set right here on this shelf, but I haven't built it yet, and I want to, and I plan on it. I gave away my Legiones Astartes side so I could have a bunch of solar stuff. So I have 2 solar boxes to build, and some knights and some other things that I picked up because I do want to try the game out. But all that's being said is Horus Hersey 30k and Legion Imperialis are not the same thing. Now, I know that there are other YouTubers out there, and Mac from the Outer Circle is a prominent Heresy discussion YouTuber who puts out a lot of stuff, who actually does some 3D design stuff. It's on cults called the Outer Circle, so if you're looking for Zone Mortalis things or some things that he's put out, it's actually pretty cool. I've supported him at least for like 3D files, STL files, and stuff like that, so Mac, you're doing great, and that's awesome. I don't know him by any means. I like his content, and although he can be relatively cynical on a lot of stuff, which is perfectly in his right to do so, I might not agree with all of it, but I do agree with a good chunk of it. And for somebody who I know really cares about the game, and doesn't care what anybody thinks, dude's doing amazing. So and he has some valid points with how he feels about the state of Horus Heresy. So with that, I'm going to switch over to the web browser because I want to just talk about this really quick. So this is what they put out for April 10th, and this is not Horus Heresy. It is a subset of Horus Heresy, but that's like saying Kill Team is 40k or Necromunda is 40k. Like, they're not the same game. And the fact that this is what comes out on Thursdays is sad, especially today of all days, because today's my birthday. April 10th is my birthday, and it was cool that it was on a Thursday, so I could go play games with my friends. But it's a Heresy Thursday, but it's not Heresy, so that's kind of lame. And last week we got this Tarantulas with missiles. Now, from what it seems like, it talks mostly just about the missile battery having the Hyperios anti-air missile, which who brings flyers to these games besides APOC games? Who brings flyers? They're not efficient. Why do you need this? And then you have a frag missile, which Osiris frag missile, which I'm assuming is either a 5-inch blast twin linked, or it's 2 5-inch blast shots. But again, why? We don't need this. And that's assuming just because this is unclear of what else is in the kit. This versatile platform could be equipped with many useful weapon systems, and this new kit brings 2 missile options to the battlefield. Is that saying that there's only 2 missile options and we're losing the last cannons, the heavy bolters? And I don't know why assault cannons aren't even an option yet, but again, that's maybe we're adding 2 new missiles to the kit. I don't know. I really don't know. And if you go here and type in Tarantula, you get last cannons here. So I'm hoping that there's last cannons, and then obviously the double missiles, which is basically what we have just seen. Let's see, look at this one. Last cannons, double missiles. So maybe we are getting last cannons in the kit. I don't know. It's unclear. It's unfortunate. So in the interim, I decided to 3D print my own Tarantula Sentry guns because there's free files somewhere on the internet that I'm not gonna put out and say where they're at, but you can find them. Super simple, and it's 11 pieces compared to probably the 50 pieces you'd get from Games Workshop, and it cost me, I believe the file was free. If it was anything, it was like $3, and maybe less than $1 in resin. So I could print as many as I want for the same amount of price, and we're getting things that we don't need. So I decided to do it myself. This is 5 pieces, 4 legs and the base. This is 4 pieces, This is assault cannons, because we don't have assault cannons as an option, but like it's an option on this file. And they're just little pegs that you just put in a little hole, and yeah, I can alternate them, I can swap them out. Boom, assault cannons. Here's my last cannon one. Boom. It's great, super simple. And then heavy bolters, also an option. So I printed out a kit of 3, and they all are interchangeable, that I can place whatever weapon set I want. And missiles aren't an option in this file, but you know, I'm sure I could find one and add it somehow. So yeah, I'm gonna show you how to paint these. Let's go make a mess. So here are the sentries. I spray painted this one black with just a black primer, and I ended up actually doing a varnish on top of the primer, just a regular satin varnish, because I couldn't find my ultra matte one. But all it does is I put it on top of the base where those two pieces connect and twist. So just because I know that they're going to be rubbing together, I wanted to, you know, retain as much of the paint as possible. So I just put a little varnish through my airbrush real quick. So all I'm going to do is take the Vallejo metal color and put it on this dry palette that I have from Artist Opus. You don't need this, you could just do this on a paper towel, but I have the palette, so I might as well do it. Just throwing some paint directly on it using a very small Army Painter dry brush. It's a little stiff because I don't always wash the paint out, because it's whatever. Rubbing it into the palette, and then I'm just going to start stippling over the whole tarantula, just kind of wiping away some of the excess paint. But I'm just going to stipple everywhere, so it's black with stippled metal, and that's it. That's the video. That's it. Really, it's not difficult. I think stippling over like a silver or a metallic over black is really like the way to go to do metals on either tanks or on like stuff like this, because it just looks good. It looks like the metal is either pulled away a little bit, it looks worn down, and it takes no effort whatsoever. So I'm literally just putting this all around the base of the tarantula, and I'll even put it on top of the controller as well. And I do it over the cases, over the las cannons, although I might actually go back and make those black, because I don't know if I want the contrast later, because I do it on I don't put the metal for the cases of the of the heavy bolters and the assault cannons. I just leave those black and I highlight them, and I think it looks good. So I might actually go back and fix that correction later. But realistically, this is just stippling. I'm just taking paint and putting it on, and it's really not, takes, you know, a couple minutes to dry. It's really not that like intensive, and I just make sure everywhere has paint on it minus the bottom, because like who looks at the bottom of these kind of minis? I don't know. If you paint your bottoms, cool. But yeah, it's super simple, super easy, and I'm literally just dabbing the dry brush onto the model just to give it some texture. And as you can see here, I'm just doing it on top of the casing for the last cannon. Like I said, I might actually go back and fix this before I publish this video, but I don't do it on the actual barrels itself, just because I wanted some contrast. So once I'm done stippling the casing and then the controller piece, I actually go in with some bronze to do the barrels. So I like the fact that las cannon barrels can look bronze or like burnt metal. So I usually do them in a bronze. I do that for las cannons. I do that for assault cannons and meltas. I do like the contrast of the bronze with those three types of firing platforms. But really, yeah, it's stippling, and this, like I said, this is 11 pieces. It didn't take very long to print, and it definitely took only a couple minutes to glue together. And this is pretty much in real time. So you're seeing me paint this fully in real time. And yeah, it maybe 5 minutes a model, if that. At least 5 minutes for like the initial one. But everything else is very quick. Not even worrying about rinsing out my brush. I'm just dabbing in the bronze and then gonna go to town on the barrel of the last cannon. Do the same thing. So if you have any questions of what paints I use, it's a black primer. I don't know if it's Krylon or if it's Rust-Oleum. It's just a standard black primer. This is like, to me, this isn't something that you need to use GW primer on, but like if you have it, use it. Just because those aerosol cans are expensive, but it's black primer, whatever way you want to go about it. Obviously the Vallejo like gunmetal, or not gunmetal, the silver bottle. And then Pro Acryl's bronze, and that's it. And then I think some red for the lenses here at the end of the video. But again, it's 3 colors minus the black primer. It's very quick. Here there are some Aquilas on the legs. I'm just dabbing those with bronze. Now I probably should have used a brush here to not get the bronze everywhere, but nobody's gonna know. How would they know? And this is me just doing the lenses. I take a really small brush and a little bit of red, put it on the palette because I don't feel like pulling out my wet palette. Adding a little water to it because it's MDF, it'll hold the water. And yeah, just tapping the lenses real quick, making them red. And then I ended up, I think later on with the other two, I do a little highlight with a brighter orange just to make it pop a little bit more, and that's it. And here's the final result. So yeah, that's the print. And let me know how you think I did in the comments below. Like I said, it's 11 pieces per model, the units of 3, so I just did it all in one build plate. Throw your comments down on the bottom. I'd love to hear about it. I'd love to hear about what your thoughts are with GW putting Legion Imperialis stuff as Horus Hersey Thursday, and what your thought is on this release that we don't really need. So yeah, yeah, like, subscribe, do all that fun stuff. It's the best way to support me. I plan on making more content, so stay tuned, and in the meantime, go make a mess.